is a fairly new college to Division II ranks. Okay, if we go down through the timeline, in 2019, they got their SIAC invite. Previous to that, they were an NAIA school, right? So if you don't recall, 2019 was the COVID year. That COVID year, another guy that was signed in HBCU football was Coach Deion Sanders, Coach Prime. He did it. He came through. He said he came to Jackson State because he was sent there for a message. And since then, we've seen Jackson State elevate their brand tremendously, even going on to Jackson State, losing their Coach Prime and still retaining Coach T.C. Taylor, and we saw what he's done. So another team that I think has been on that same type of progression, just on a lower level, would be Edward Waters. Edward Waters has also progressed immensely since the COVID outbreak. Since 2019, they got their SIAC invite. They were the first program to play against Coach Prime in Jackson State in 2020. In 2020, they also built a $4.3 million stadium that was funded by both the school and the city. That's what a lot of HBCUs are trying to get done right now. Jackson State is one of them with the vet and bringing an on-campus stadium. So Edward Waters is getting some things done. Then next, in the 2021, you have the inaugural Big Cat Classic. Okay, so you leave the NAIA, but you don't leave your NAIA HBCU brethren, Florida Memorial. You continue to play them at the top of the year every year in a home and away series for non-conference. For what Edward Waters is and what they were 4 years from now, I'm going to keep it real. They will become a HBCU powerhouse. They have shown a commitment to football. Showing a commitment to football is paying for a new facility. Showing a commitment to football is scheduling Coach Prime when you're an NAIA program during a COVID season. That's committing yourself to football. This Edward Waters team is primed and ready to go. In the SIAC, they're going to bring back their starting quarterback, Jerron Russell, a guy that was a transfer from Alcorn State. He was injured around game 2 of last season. He bounces back. He'll come back for this Edward Waters team, and he'll be the starting guy. Now, from what Coach Morgan told us, this Edward Waters team is built on a solid foundation, super solid foundation, much more solid than a lot of other football programs. Let's break it down, right? So when he inherited the program in 2020, Coach Morgan told us that he did not bring in any transfers. He barely recruited. He had a very small recruiting class, super small. Almost didn't bring in any guys at all, so that he would have more space to bring in the guys he wanted moving forward in the coming years, right? Because he was hired as Edward Waters' head coach in April, far past the National Signing Day, and he felt like he didn't have a chance. So he kept the guys he already had, went into the season, played Coach Prime, whoop-de-whoop, and did that. Now, in understanding his philosophies recruiting-wise, as a South Florida guy, as a Floridian, Coach Morgan looks out for a lot of other Floridians. He looks out for a lot of high schoolers. He's going into the high school ranks specifically. He literally brought in 24 recruits this year. 22 of them were high school players from Florida. Literally. There were 2 transfers from HBCU programs. Only 2. And I asked Coach about the transfer portal and what the transfer portal really means to him. And he isn't that excited about the transfer portal in general. He doesn't really look to bring in guys from the transfer portal. This Edward Waters team is really into developing players. Quite literally, we want you the younger you are. And even guys that do enter the transfer portal, Coach Morgan said that they currently are 100% in keeping guys out of the transfer portal. The only people that went to the transfer portal have left and went to another school because Edward Waters did not offer their master's program. That's it. And the master's program has been nursing. Apparently nursing. That's what's getting guys away from their program. That's the only thing. Not having a nursing master's program. Other than that, they've been able to retain talent throughout this transition process. Transitioning from NAIA to NCAA, you have no guys entering the transfer portal. That says something. That says a lot about Coach Morgan and the staff. That shows a committed philosophy from not only your coach, but from your administration, athletic administration, and school. I mean, I can't talk even more gushingly about this Edward Waters team. I think Edward Waters is primed to be a staple in HBCU football in the coming years with their head coach, Coach Morgan. with their president, with this athletic administration. Everything is working together for Edward Waters. I think Edward Waters is only moving forward and getting bigger and bigger. I think more non-conference games will get bigger and bigger for this team, because even in looking at where Edward Waters is in North Florida, the closest big Division I team is University of Florida. Aside from that, you're pretty alone. There's not too many other regional opponents within 50-mile radius of Edward Waters that plays football. Edward Waters is in a great spot to dominate recruiting-wise. That's kind of what I'm getting at. Edward Waters is on the cusp of something great. I think everybody should tap in with him. So that's been my show this week. That was HBCU Flicks, your boy Kelly Flicks. If you have not already, please like and subscribe to this video. Comment on this video. I'm going to get in the comments with you. We'll get dirty. We'll talk about things. We'll figure it out. If you feel like I'm wrong, let's talk about it. Let's get to that. If you feel like I'm wrong, let's talk about it. None of the sneak dissing. Just hit me up in my comments. We can talk about it right there. We are so close to 100 subscribers at the Lace Up Podcast Network. We are around 7 subscribers away. Please tell a friend to tell a friend. Road to 100. We are almost there. And also, don't forget to tune in with MMM, Money Mo Media, every other Saturday, and listen to some WNBA basketball. Tap in with MMM and get some WNBA basketball bi-weekly. Simone's will give you the most up-to-date news on WNBA basketball, who our MVPs are, who our players of the week are, award situations, and most importantly, the politics behind the WNBA. That's what you got to figure out, right? So, thanks for tuning in with me. This is another episode of HBCU Flicks. It's your boy Kelly Flicks, and